all the noteworthy experiences that I've been really privileged to have with the Rebbe of blessed memory and with Chabad. I mean, this goes way back to the 60s, you know, when I had a friend who was a banker in New Haven, where I had come to attend Yale, who took me into a Farbrengen once, and it was electrifying, really. Before I got married to my wife, Hadassah, I went for a bracha from the Rebbe, which meant a lot to us, very special and personal. And on the day that I was in 1989, January of 1989, after I had been elected to the U.S. Senate, on the way to LaGuardia Airport to take the plane to Washington to be sworn in as a senator, we went on a Sunday, so the Rebbe was greeting people at his house. The line was long. I had some friends in high places who moved me, and every member of my family wanted to come along with me. And the Rebbe gave everybody $1, $2, and a special bracha, a special insight. And you know, he charged me that with the responsibility that I had been lucky enough to be elected to the Senate. That in itself was a great accomplishment, but that was should only be the beginning for me. I quote Rabbi Sachs, a former chief rabbi of the United Kingdom, who said that the Rebbe was really not about creating followers for himself. He was about creating leaders for this extraordinary movement, which continues to be the most dynamic, in my opinion, in world Judaism, in carrying the light of Torah, of Yiddishkeit, Judaism, to people around the world. Anyway, I continue to be very impressed by the dynamism of the Chabad movement today, and Rabbi Gordon in San Fernando Valley represented all of that to a magnificent, almost extreme. I mean, when you think about it, when he was sent by the Rebbe to the San Fernando Valley, it was to a certain extent a Jewish desert. And really, through the leadership of Rabbi Gordon, he transformed the San Fernando Valley into a kind of Gan Eden of Judaism with, 26 separate Chabad units and an enormous number of people engaged in Torah and mitzvot. Well, it's a small world and a coincidence, Jewish geography, that a rabbi who worked very closely, a shaliach who worked very closely with Rabbi Gordon is Rabbi Mordechai Einbinder, who I first met as a kid, a child, in the Young Israel of New Haven, where I davened for years when I lived in that particular neighborhood in New Haven. The Einbinder family was a really wonderful family. And I'm very proud that Rabbi Mordechai Einbinder is in the San Fernando Valley and supported the work of Rabbi Gordon and is carrying it on now. The Rebbe was very explicit that technology of itself was not a threat, but really it was our responsibility, as in everything else in life, to try to grab hold of it and use it for good. And Chabad has really used it for good. There's an old joke that Al Gore invented the internet. Of course, I'm a big admirer of Al Gore's. But whether he invented the internet or not, the internet was invented for Chabad. So I was on my way to a European American security meeting in Munich, Germany. It happened to be over Shabbat. And it was also at a time when there were massive demonstrations in the square in Munich, and so the area of the hotel where the conference was occurring was all secured. There were military vehicles and tanks around. I was part of an American delegation of senators going there. When we arrived, pulled in to the hotel, our military attaché, who had gone ahead to prepare the hotel, said to me that an amazing event had occurred. He was a Marine. He said he was asked to come out into the square because to greet somebody, the tanks separated, and he said a young man came through, black hat, a beard, a long black coat. He said, I didn't know what this was, carrying a bag. And he said, I have something for Senator Lieberman. And he said, I immediately got worried this was a terrorist plot or something. So I checked the bag, and it was a bottle of kosher wine, 2 loaves of bread, or 3 loaves of bread, and some meats and food. So I'm giving it to you now, and there was a card in from the shliach in Munich, whose name I think is Rabbi Diskin. So I called him after Shabbat, and I asked him what led him to do this. Oh, he said, apparently your mother in Stamford, Connecticut, told Rabbi Darren that you were going to be in Munich this Shabbos, and she wasn't sure that you were able to make arrangements for food. She knew you were staying in a hotel and not moving around. So Rabbi Darren immediately emailed Rabbi Diskin, and that explains how I got the Shabbos meal.